Now for our feature story of the day. The White House says that the gold reserves can be used to purchase the Bitcoin. And remember, if it's a net neutral way of acquiring it, they're allowed to do it. Now, what if we switched our gold reserves and traded it for the pretty little bitty? Bitcoin's going to explode. What's the market cap of gold right now? Can someone chime in and let me know? And this is official from the White House, so I want to read it to you. This is a pretty big deal, FYI. This is what it says. All right. Bo Hines, Executive Director of President Council of Advisors of Digital Assets, suggested in an interview that the U.S. could capitalize on the gains from its gold holdings and purchase more Bitcoin. This move, according to Hines, could be a budget-neutral way to increase the country's Bitcoin reserves. Precisely. Hines referenced the Bitcoin Act of 2025 proposed by Senator Lummis, which advocates for the U.S. to acquire 1 million Bitcoin. And you know, Saylor's proposing them purchase over 5 million Bitcoin, 25% of the Bitcoin supply, which he proposed at the recent Crypto White House Summit. So Lummis says approximately 5% of the total Bitcoin supply over the span of 5 years. Saylor's saying, why so bearish? Let's do 25% of the supply, Trumpster. This acquisition would be funded through the sale of the Federal Reserve gold certificates. Even better, get rid of the fake gold. A gold certificate is nothing more than an IOU. It's a derivative. It doesn't even really exist. Do you know that there's more gold derivatives that exist in the actual underlying asset itself, which means it's the true fool's gold, or quoting Max Kaiser. Gold is the poor man's Bitcoin. Couldn't agree more. But yeah, the executive director of the White House Crypto Working Group, Bo Hines, talks Bitcoin, way to buy it, more of it, thinking behind, including, and also, you know, they established the digital asset stockpile separate of the strategic Bitcoin reserve, which got put in via the executive order, as you guys already know. Quote here from Trump, if we actually realize the gains on the U.S. gold holdings, that could be a budget neutral way to acquire more Bitcoin. Oh, this is according to Hines, who shared it to Trump. So you already know Trump's entire team is pro-Bitcoin, only a matter of time. There's another headline here, which was just published via Yahoo Finance. White House says gold reserves may be used to purchase Bitcoin. So this is official. They have the go-ahead because it's a net neutral way to acquire it. As long as they're not using taxpayer dollars, they have the go-ahead to do so. Also, I want to share this, exchanging gold for Bitcoin, because Saylor's been a big proponent for this as well in the president's ear. Saylor once again brought the eccentric proposal that would surely earn a lot of criticism, urging the U.S. government to swap its gold reserve for Bitcoin. And again, why not get rid of the derivatives and trade it for the hardest asset known to mankind? As a MicroStrategy executive, now obviously Strategy B, known to staunch advocate of the biddy, told the U.S. to rethink its economic strategy and shift towards the firstborn crypto, the pretty little bitty. In the interview with Yahoo, Saylor made the bold recommendation that the country's leadership should dispose all of its gold reserves. I couldn't agree more. So that the government can buy more of the bitty. Quoting him here, dump your gold, sell all the U.S. gold, and buy Bitcoin, because you can buy 5 million Bitcoin for the cost of the gold. 5 million Bitcoin, that's literally 25% of the circulating Bitcoin supply of 21 million that could ever be in existence. Pretty advantageous for the United States of America if they want to be that Bitcoin superpower, and there's only enough room for one country to do this as the global hash war continues. Saylor also urged the U.S. government basically didn't want them to purchase more gold for the national reserve. Instead, just trade it for Bitcoin. The Bitcoin supporter previously noted that gold is an ineffective store of value, saying that gold is antiquated and has many vulnerabilities. That's a fact, Jack. Also quoting him here, you'll demonetize the entire gold asset class, and our enemies hold gold in their banks. I mean, this is awesome. And so their assets would go to zero, while our assets go to the trillions if he actually, the government followed through with his proposal. But you guys, let me know your thoughts on that. Also, Michael Saylor calls gold the king of garbage investments for a long-term investor. I mean, it comes out of his own mouth. He said, one of the stupidest investments ultimately is gold long term. I mean, again, 10,000 years is trading at $3,200, where you have a Bitcoin up 172 million% in 16 years. I mean, you figure, choose accordingly. Someone tag Peter Schiff, wellness check to the Schiffmeister's house, please. Couldn't agree more. King of garbage investments for the long-term investor, gold, gold, gold. And also, Saylor says soon every billionaire will buy $1 billion of Bitcoin, and the supply shock will be so motherfucking great, it'll stop measuring Bitcoin in terms of fiat. One Bitcoin will always be equivalent to one Bitcoin. That's a fact, Jack. Now for the latest from the high priest of Bitcoin, Max Kaiser. Ideal conditions for the pretty little bitty. 220,000 is in play. That's right. You see gold accelerating. You see the US dollar index deaccelerating. Game on. Bullish setup. You can't taper the Ponzi, says the high priest. The tariff rhetoric and required discipline will give way to the tired and true money printing backed by the military threats. Take the U.S. dollar or else. Rinse and repeat. 220,000 in play. I repeat, 220,000 per pretty little bitty in play. This was off the back of the news breaking. Trumpster just stunned the world in a jaw-dropping press conference. President Trump confirmed what many have suspected for years. The U.S. has secret weapons unlike anything. I actually watched this. He did literally say that. Unlike anything on earth, his exact words, we have weapons no one has ever heard of, more powerful than anything any country has. And it is not even close. So it makes you wonder, why do the other countries allow America to have weapons of mass destruction? Isn't that the whole thing we allegedly went to war with Iraq because, the Bushes and Cheneys were like, they got weapons of mass destruction, and they literally had no weapons of mass destruction. You know what their weapon of mass destruction was? Moving away from the dollar. And they handled that situation, didn't they? But anyways, you guys, let me know your thoughts. I'll read your comments out loud. What's your thoughts on that? And 220 in play. Holla at your boy. We call them poor. Precisely. Gold is the boomer's biddy. Gold is the poor man biddy. Sell your gold, buy some biddy. 420 gold. Yeah, man. Did I quote your BTC force? I believe in the gold. I believe in the biddy. I believe in the kings. I believe in the queens. House guest just left. Oh, thank God. That's the best time. Light it up, brother. Make sure it's like a 7-gram Blunsky and holler at your boy. 100% JV. Bitcoin will start behaving like gold soon. Will the U.S. offload their gold and trade it for the hardest asset that's impregnable, unconfiscatable? Let me know. There's a poll. Let me know. Answer the poll. 100%. Peter Schiffy goes kick rocks. We're talking about the gold for the biddy. Precisely.